What's going on, troops? Welcome to the channel. I am Stevie, the military biker. Thank you very much for joining me on this cloudy but still stunning fall or autumn, depending where you are in the world, day. Currently, I am smoking a Deadwood Tobacco Co. Zero cigar. Absolutely phenomenal cigar. It's not a Sweet Jane, but it is good. It's not that good, but it is good. It's not as good as a Sweet Jane. So those of you that have had a Deadwood Tobacco Co. Sweet Jane will know that they are the bomb. Anyway, why am I out here in the middle of the Rocky Mountains with this amazing view in the background? All the trees are turning. It's, yeah, like I said, it's autumn, stroke fall. Why am I here? Well, do you know what? I wanted to speak to you guys about Sturgis 2023 this year. So roll that intro and we'll get into it. So, for those of you that did actually go to let's say the first weekend stroke week of Sturgis, I wasn't there for the second week, so I don't know, but I believe it was the same. You will know that it was one of the wettest Sturgis motorcycle rallies, or Black Hill motorcycle rallies, on record. It was horrific. It was bad, and obviously I was there for 2 days prior to the first weekend, or prior to the first kickoff weekend. So from the Wednesday, so I went from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first weekend, and like I said, pre first weekend, and getting down there was a bit of a there's a story behind that, and those of you that know my Instagram and obviously follow me on Instagram and whatnot will know that there was a thing called Rabbit Gate, where a gigantic something, as we were driving in the middle of the night down to Montana for our first day of the evening, pitch black, myself and Canadian vet rider, I was out in front leading the pack, and I hit what can only be described as a gigantic rabbit.
Go on, boss, chop its head off. Right, silly little bleeder. One rabbit stew coming right up. Look. Jesus Christ!
And it was lying on the floor. It was already dead, so somebody had already squished it at this point. But as you guys know, driving in the dark and at speed and trying to avoid something in the dark at speed sometimes can be quite tricky. So at this point, it was literally in my line of path where I was going. So I had no choice. I had to literally just take the hit and ride over it, if you like. Now, at this point, I just held on for dear life, and I was like, shit, this is going to hurt. And I must have went over the skull of said rabbit stroke warlock, whatever the hell it was. It was huge. It was about this big. So it was either a rabbit or a coyote, one of the two, but I think it was a rabbit. Anyway, I rolled over the skull, and it made a hoofing big crunch. I think obviously where I'd hit it, it then ripped it up slightly, hit the underneath of the bike, whatnot, and I actually, feared the worst at this point. I thought, oh Jesus, I'm coming off here, because it did actually lift the bike up slightly. Anyway, luckily enough, I didn't come off the bike. I was probably hitting 85 mile an hour at this point, and obviously trying to avoid that at that speed on a single road like this is here, that could have ended up quite bad. So I just took it, hit it, and thankfully afterwards I was like, oh, cool, that's it. I didn't think nothing of it until the following morning. It was a brilliant ride down yesterday. We got into the motel around 9 o'clock last night. I killed a prairie dog on the way down, and I also hit a fucking gigantic rabbit, which has caused a bit of damage to my tyre. So, yeah, not happy about that, to be fair, let me show you. Because it's caused this bit of a fucking flat spot. Check it out. It's caused a bit of a flat spot and like a fucking slashing across the tyre. I don't know if you can see it there. Not there, like that, see it? So, yeah, who knew? Who knew rabbits in Montana were fucking made out of steel? As I was inspecting the bike the following morning in the daylight, you could see a physical indent from the side on the front of the wheel, on the front wheel. You could see a physical indent where I'd hit this, whatever it was, and it had caused basically a rupture right across the front of the tyre from one side to the other. Huge, like half moon shaped indent on the actual front tyre. So at this point, it wasn't down to the wire of the actual, the actual tyre itself. It was probably maybe half an inch depth down into the tyre. So I thought to myself, oh shit, that's my Sturgis trip over. Or I need to get to a dealership and get the front inspected and get the tyre certainly inspected. So at this point, we decided to crack on just to keep going and whatnot. And in the end, I had to stop. I didn't like it. It wasn't, we were still going normal speeds and stuff like that to get to Sturgis. I wasn't too keen on it. So we rode roughly about another 300 miles at this point. Further down, I think we hit Billings, Montana. Now, Billings, there's Beartooth Harley-Davidson. Now, I stopped in, spoke to one of the guys in there, top bloke. He was an a US Marine veteran, and he was a great guy. I told him what went on, told him the story about it. We had a laugh about it. And obviously, you guys seen the live stream that I did about Rabbit Gate. It wouldn't be Sturgis without a Sturgis story. So the rabbit I ate last night wasn't a fucking rabbit, it was a troll or a fucking behemoth or some shit, or a fucking, I don't know, warlock, because it's completely fucked my tyre up. Completely. So I am in right now, I am at Beartooth Harley-Davidson in Billings, Montana, getting a tyre change because it completely destroyed the tyre. So when I ate it last night, the fucking Roger Rabbit, it's literally gouged it. You've seen the pictures, you can check it out on Instagram. It's completely gouged it out, and obviously it's actually breached the wall. So I've had the guys at Harley inspect it this morning, and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, you're lucky you didn't have a blowout. So and he said to me, I'll be honest, Steve, he said, you're going to be here you'd be lucky for me to get you in till about 5 o'clock tonight. At this point, it was around about 11 o'clock, midday, lunchtime at this point. So I was like, well, there's nothing I can do, man. Just get it in the line, and let's see where we go. So I was expecting a huge bill as well, but I remembered that I had the Harley-Davidson warranty, the extended warranty on the bike, and that included, funnily enough, which was great, it included that as well, road hazard, I think it was called. So long story short, the guys at Beartooth Harley-Davidson had me in and out within 3 hours, with a brand new tyre that I had to pay the excess on. That was it. I was expecting, $600-700 bill at this point, which would have been my Sturgis spending money gone, before I'd even got to Sturgis. But yeah, top guys at Beartooth Harley-Davidson in Billings, Montana. Again, like I said, $50 excess, which was great. I had the new tyre on. She was fixed. She was out the door within 3 hours, which was fantastic. So, yeah, big shout out to the guys at Beartooth Harley-Davidson for saving my Sturgis trip, basically. So that was the beginning of my Sturgis 2023 road trip. So it was a bit of a nightmare. We lost half a day getting down there. It is what it is. Canadian vet rider. It was great. He said, "Do you want me to hang around, mate?" And I was like, "No, you get down there, man," because he had a passenger on the back at the time. So he shot off, left me there. I said I'd catch him up, which we did eventually. And I met them in Topless Tuesday, basically the Stoneville Saloon in Alzada in Montana, probably about 5 hours later. So we were there by dinner time. So yeah, I met John, aka Canadian vet rider, in the Topless Tuesday bar, Stoneville Saloon. Big, huge thank you to the guys at Beartooth Harley-Davidson in Billings, Montana. They had me in and out within 2.5 hours. Absolutely outstanding. really, really phenomenal. You know, the customer service was great. Really top guys. Brian on the front desk of service did a phenomenal job. You know, he said to me, mate, I won't be able to get you in till 5, 6 o'clock tonight, and I was in there by what, 12:30, and I was out on the road again by 2. So I mean, with a brand new tyre on the front. So yeah, absolutely outstanding. And the best thing about it is the warranty covered it. So I didn't pay a penny. Yes, thank you, warranty. Fuck you, rabbit. So anyway, I've made it to one of the best places on a Tuesday, and only on a Tuesday. Check it out. It's the Stoneville Saloon, aka Tea Tuesday or Topless Tuesday. Look, there it is right there. There's Topless Tuesday. And yeah, from that point on, my Sturgis road trip began. But like I said, it was absolutely hoofing it down with rain for the first week. So it wasn't raining at this point, but as we came out of Alzada and we went straight down to, you know, because I was staying at the, what the hell was it called? Tilford Gulch Campground. So I had to make my way to Tilford Gulch Campground. But on the way, the clouds, the skies were just black. And luckily enough, we managed to skate around them to get to where we were going. But the next day, or the next 3 days of my 5-day road trip were completely destroyed by rain and thunderstorms, and it was just constant, you know. And those of us that ride bikes, yes, we know we can ride in the rain. Do we like doing it? No. I hate doing it. I hate riding in the rain. It does my head in. I just don't like being wet. I'm a soldier. I don't like being wet. You know, so even with all the gear on and everything on, you're still going to get wet. The bike is going to get absolutely drenched. You know, the roads were horrific. There was puddling all over the place. You could be aquaplaning. There was cars hoofing it down the highway at like 80, 90 mile an hour. When you're sat in the, you know, in the next lane doing maybe 60, 70, it's not ideal. So yes, the first 3 days of my Sturgis road trip were just very wet, shall we say.